Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I got a super interesting topic. We're doing another in-house video because outside it's like 100 and I live in Vegas, for those of you that didn't know. And today we're going to talk about baby boomers and their cash are driving the housing market right now. We're going to talk about what I think, because I'm selling some investment properties and I'm going to probably buy some in the next few months, what does it mean for you and what I think about it and what I'm going to do. So this is not financial advice. So take it with a grain of salt because the housing market can change anytime. So this is on July 8th. Okay, so this article basically that I have listed on the screen is basically saying that the median home price now in across the United States is $436,000, where in 2020, that's like 3 years ago, it was $320,000. So it jumped quite drastically. So this article is basically saying that interest rates in the 7% resulted in higher payments than in the low 3s, like I did. So it says, as a result of the median monthly payment, principal and interest, a home buyer now can expect to pay nearly $2,000, almost double 2020 figures. So you're paying basically double. So I bought my house in 2019 or 2020, and I spent $900,000. I bought about $400,000 in cash from my other house that I've owned in California, and my mortgage is about $500,000, and my loan payment on that 30-year fixed at 3% is something in the $2,000, $2,200, $2,300 without property taxes and any fees. So with fees, I think it's about $3,000. So as the median home price here in Las Vegas is about $400 and something thousand. So I have on the screen right here, I have the numbers for a $450,000 home price with a $90,000 down payment. That's 20%. And Zillow here is telling us that an interest rate on a 30-year fixed as of today should be about 8%. I haven't verified that. I know it was like 7 point something a few weeks ago. So that would be the monthly insurance, taxes and everything. The monthly payment would be $3,260. So just to do the loan, just to pay down the loan, your mortgage amount, it's going to be $2,600.61. What isn't too bad for a $450,000 house, but it's still really, really bad. And taxes is $600. So that results to $3,200. So what does that mean? Well, I financed double that at a lower cost than these people that are getting into the housing market now. So I also saw a video of an elderly gentleman saying that, oh, in the 1990s and 1980s, a house was $70 or $80,000. And what's really interesting is that even though the house was $80,000, they were way ahead of the game because they only made $20,000. So they only needed to work for 4 years and their house was basically paid for, right? So if they would have saved each penny and cents and didn't give anything to the government, just their gross salary would have paid for like 4 years and they could have bought a house in cash. Right now, the average income in the United States is like $67,000 or something. So now for a $500,000 home, you need to work way more than that. So let's look at how much you'd actually have to work. So when we take the $450,000 divided by that much, so you'd have to almost work like 6 years to do that. So it's 2 years more than you have to work than you did in the 1980s. So, and this article is also saying that baby boomers have so much equity that they're basically helping their kids to buy a house. And that's what I would do if I had a kid. So instead of me actually buying a college fund or something like that, I would take some money out of the stock market and basically buy a rental unit. I would buy a single family home and I would actually rent that out to pay the mortgage on it. And when my child turns 18 or 19 and wants to move out, I say, instead of saying, oh, I got a prepaid college for you, I would actually tell them, I got a house for you. And you can live in that house. You can do whatever you want with it, just so you have a place to live. And so I would buy probably a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for like $300,000-$400,000. And with that, I would then basically have him or her rent it out and basically make some money like that, and basically tell them, hey, you now have an equity house that's basically almost paid off, and you just need to make the mortgage payments on it. And I would not refinance it or something, so I would basically just buy it, and when they're 18, 20 years old, I would actually give them that. So the mortgage has 10 years left on it, and then they basically get a house, and then they can go to college, and they need to rent out the rooms, do some kind of co-living space where they have like 2 or 3 people living in the house. And so they never have to like really worry about them not making any money, because if they don't make enough in their job, their housing cost is still covered with their renters, right? So that is something that I was looking into. And according to this article, a bunch of baby boomers are actually helping out their kids to do exactly that, but not for college purposes, just helping them to get a down payment assistance, or paying actually their mortgage or rent. And I've always been hearing about this article. It's always been saying like, oh, a year ago, 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago, the rates were in the low 3s. Yeah, I know, but that's, as this article says, we're not going to expect that for another 10 years or something. So this is going to be the new normal. And I know that we could go back and say, oh, I can't look at what's now, I'm looking at the 3s. That's just not a good figure to look at, because right now we're at 6.5%, 7, 8%, and it's just not looking like it's going to come down anytime soon. If the economy takes a downturn, I think they'll lower it a little bit, but it'd still be sky high because we have low inventory. So, and this article also is going over that last month, the real estate data group Redfin reported that shares of all cash purchases has increased to 1/3 of the entire housing market, the highest level since 2014. How can that be? Well, that can be that people are selling their $1 million house, their big ones, and are downsizing. So I've seen a lot of people actually lately, even in the Bay Area, have big houses. Their kids moved out. They had a 4-bedroom house, and they sold that and basically bought a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, way smaller house. And they sold that for $1.5, $1.6 million and bought something for cash so they don't have a mortgage. So that makes a lot of sense. And this article is also going about that some of those boomers have benefited from skyrocketing values of their home, which has led to historic high levels of housing wealth. So that is absolutely correct. And I've seen people selling their houses for so much money that they've bought in like 1990, sold it in 2020, and cashed like $1.8 million out. And I've also seen people that sold their minky-dink house for 700 square foot for like $1.4 million. It's like crazy. So now we're looking at where people are going. So this article is basically saying these people are going to move somewhere. When they're selling and buying, they're looking at going to the suburbs, just like the move that me and Allison did. We always lived in the suburbs, so because you're kind of close to the city and it's really nice. So with the work from home booming, this article is saying that people are really interested in backyards, pools, outdoor living space because they're working from home. And I do agree with that, and that is spot on, because I do love my backyard. I do love having a little space and not be in a townhouse or in a condo like I was before. And the census, the data also shows that their jobs from home have increased from 5.7% to roughly 17%. So it doesn't really tell us when the data was taken from. if this is new data, because it says that it was taken in 2019 and then in 2021. So that was from those 2 years where, during COVID, where basically everybody kind of was working from home. So it'd be interesting to see in a year from now if that's still 17.9% or if it's gone down, because there are so many layoffs, so many companies actually said that they need to go back to the office. So that's going to be really interesting. And that is it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions, if you agree or disagree, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.